Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to clean a foam air filter on a motorcycle. So if you're new to bikes, this is something you're going to want to know how to do and do regularly. Obviously there's more than one way to do this, everybody's got their own method, but it's the way I've been doing it for forever now and it's worked great for me, so I hope you get something out of it.
Hey guys, before we get too far into this, I want to take a second to show you our line of enduro helmet chin mounts that we make for action cameras. They are individually designed to fit a growing number of specific helmets, no more generic one-size-fits-all mounts. These mounts are made to complement the style of your helmet while being secure and ergonomic. They come with a couple cool features such as the reverse screw direction for easy battery access on newer GoPros, upright mounting that allows for the perfect camera angle as well as audio reception protection, and lastly a tilt indicator that helps you line up the camera for the perfect angle. If you're interested in supporting our channel, check out the link in the description below and see if we make a mount for your helmet. Okay, back to the video.
So the first thing you're going to want to do after pulling the air filter out of the bike is kind of dust it off. This dirt tends to pile up on the surface, and if you try to use a dissolvent or some sort of cleaner without doing this, you'll just have more of a work on your hands. So I have most of it off here. You can see I got a pretty good pile. So now I'm going to go ahead and pull this off of the plastic frame here. One of the things you want to look at when you're cleaning up your air filter is the surface around here. What you're looking for is to see whether or not there's any dirt getting past the sealing surface of the air filter. If there is, you want to make sure that one, you're getting your air filter to seal up well. In my case, I was having a problem previously with this lip of the frame getting caught on the housing box of the air filter, and it wasn't seating down all the way inside. So when you put it in, that's one thing that can go wrong. It can also be a problem if you don't put some sort of oil sealant or Vaseline or something on this surface to make sure it seals up well. So I think what you'll find when it comes to cleaning the actual air filter is that everyone has their own opinion about what kind of solvent you should use to clean out the dirt in the old air filter spray. I use gasoline, and I think for some people that's controversial because it could start breaking down the foam. Now I replace my air filter probably once a year at least, so I don't really notice that breakdown. But honestly I don't think it's a problem. I mean, I clean this maybe once every time I do my oil change, and I don't really see any kind of wear that would be concerning because of the chemical breakdown. If anything, I start seeing it around here between the air filter and the air box. So it's not really concerning to me. Some people would say use soap and water. They sell special solvents, but in my case, I find that gasoline just works fine. You don't need very much gasoline, maybe all of a half an inch on the bottom. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this upside down and I'm going to just submerge it a little bit here on the bottom. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit more in there. And then I'm just going to press it down so that the foam is completely saturated. And that's going to break down the air filter spray, and all the dirt is just going to settle down to the bottom. So when I pull it up, I'm just going to take it and wring it out, and your air filter should come out pretty much perfectly clean, and all the dirt should be in the bottom. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this sit out in the sun for maybe 20 minutes, let it completely evaporate off the gasoline and become dry, and then I'll spray it with air filter foam spray. And here you can see the amount of dirt that gets left behind in the bottom of this. It's quite a substantial amount. So I've let the air filter sit out in the sun for 15 or 20 minutes. It's completely dry. Everything seems to be fine here. I'm using the factory recommended Motorex brand air filter oil. I don't really think it matters. I've used everything from the cheap generic brand stuff all the way up to the factory recommended stuff, and Really, I only buy this stuff because it's, I don't know, I'm a brand snob apparently. I wouldn't recommend using the kind that you get in a can and you dip your air filter in. It's just really messy. The stuff that's an aerosol is a lot easier to use. So what you're going to do with this is obviously shake it, and then you're going to go all the way around and you're going to get a layer. This stuff is fairly visible. I like to do it to the point where you can kind of see it like this. If you get it much more than that, you'll find it starts dripping out of the air filter once you kind of get to the end. So I'm going to go all the way around here, kind of get it that thick. That looks pretty good to me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around, I'm going to spray this surface here so that it gets a good seal with the air box. Some people like to use Vaseline. Honestly, I've found that this works just fine, just getting a thick layer here in the mating surface. I don't really think it matters that much, or at least I've never noticed. As long as you get the air filter frame seated inside well, I have never noticed it leaking dirt past this seam here. So now that's good. I'm going to put the frame back in, and there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in the bike now as it is. The aerosol is going to evaporate, obviously, and it's going to leave this as a really sticky, kind of gooey outer layer that the dirt's going to stick to. But it should be fine to stick back in your bike now.